Welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us. We couldn't be happier to have you, and we couldn't be happier to be here.
Damn right.
First things first, couple of quick things off the top. I want to do some shout-outs and some thank yous. Thank you for iTunes reviews. Thank you guys so much.
They were huge, yeah. They were
huge.
good ones.
We're going to start a push. We really, iTunes has, I don't know if you're non-iTunes people, if you're Android or whatever, iTunes has the top 150 charts for each category.
Right.
We are in society and culture, which is hilarious, I think, that we are part of any society or culture. So that's our category.
Fucking subculture.
We really want to be in the top 150 on the charts.
It would really
want to be.
It would really make a difference in my life.
You have no idea how much being on that. People, when they look for new podcasts, they look through the charts to see what's there. So that's how they find it.
Right.
So that would just help us immensely listenership-wise. So in order to do that, iTunes, weird, freaky algorithms, we need reviews bad. Please, we beg you. 5-star reviews, following instructions, talk to us, say something. But please, anybody who's been like, I'm going to do it eventually, I don't feel like it, this is the time. Please tell your friends. Crime and Sports Movement, we really want to we really want to push this in the next month or so. We want to hit those charts. And let's do it as a team. And when we get the 150, we can all celebrate.
I'd love it.
Get on the show. Even if we're 149, we'll be really happy, guys. Because like we said, we're not journalists. Nope. We don't have a network. No. We're comics, and you guys have been doing this.
And the ones that have helped the most, the ones that I
we have some shout-outs this week.
Let me
Jimmy's
say some of these
right
people. Cleo Bay Gennaro, she's fantastic. She's a sweetheart. She's very nice on Twitter. Donnie Munsell. Jonathan Gilliard is
the Reverend Jonathan. I just want to say Reverend before his name. The good Reverend Jonathan
That's my
Gilliard.
Marine hero. He lives in South Carolina.
He broke our balls, too, which makes me like him even more.
Roberta Mack has donated to us. She's a
thank
sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Roberta, for your
And Isaac and Lynette as well.
Page.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
so huge.
Patreon.com/crime
that helps a lot. That helps us buy equipment. That helps us get things. So thank you guys so much.
I go through note cards like you wouldn't believe. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Even
check out the Twitter pictures. There's piles of them every week.
Yeah.
Joe Salinas, the Motor City Sports Talk Show, and the Red Card Podcast. They're here in America, by the way.
Yes.
We thought they were British. They're not. It is Lucas Hansen runs that. So follow them and listen to their podcast.
At Spartan Blues on Twitter.
Yeah. And Rob B in Dublin. That guy's awesome.
Yes.
Gina Nation. At Jameson, I believe he's in Ireland. I think so.
I think so, too.
And Gregor Hall in fucking Scotland. And then Neil Lenahan. It's been fucking Rob
Thanks,
B.
Guys.
I hope I said that.
We love you guys.
You
so
guys
much.
have been fantastic. Thanks for interacting on Twitter. Thanks for being around.
The Reverend Jonathan Gilliard.
My Marine hero. So without further ado, thank all of you so much. And the ones that are listening that aren't fucking talking, thank you as well. But talk it up. Get at us on Twitter. Yeah, find us.
At Crime and Sports,
Facebook.com/Crime
and Sports. We love you guys.
It's
Please.
awesome.
crimeandsports@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We'll talk back.
I love it.
We sound like dicks.
Yeah.
But we're really
I swear I'm a nice
people.
guy.
We're decent guys. We swear to God. We're dicks to these people,
and
we're comics. So when comedy's involved, we're kind of our default setting is asshole.
Right.
But other than that, in normal life, if you come up and say, hi, your podcast is cool, or even, hey, your podcast sucks, we'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm fine with your podcast sucks, too.
Yeah, just don't put that on iTunes.
Right.
Don't be a cunt about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, I say cunt, and I normally don't. We try to refrain from the C, but I say it because we have a nice Englishman this week.
Yay! I love it.
He has said cunt many times in his life, as is most of the people who have watched him do his thing. Before we get into that, also, hope you guys enjoyed Tony Ayala Jr. last week. Was that a psychopath or what?
Best ending ever.
That was the ending we want.
Yeah.
That was like at the end of like a crime movie. That was a Scarface ending. That was his getting shot down by machine guns with a pile of cocaine behind him. Just with his arm out in a stinky gym with a spike in his arm, just by himself. At least he wasn't a woman there for him to rape anyway. That's helpful.
The smell must have been horrific in the first place, just from all the
spit bucket, Jimmie. I've spent time in gyms. Like, the spit bucket's unreal. As a kid, I remember being like, what's that? Holy shit.
Never mind, don't tell me.
Never mind. But this week, we head to the UK.
Yeah.
We're doing this also because UK has been amazing for us the last few weeks. Our UK listenership right now is about the same as it is in the States, which is insane because we have 10 times as many people.
Right.
So You guys, thank you. We love you so much.
And we know people in America.
And we know people here.
I don't fucking know a single person in England.
Not a soul.
Not one.
You guys rock. And Americans, too.
Right.
This is as fun a story. I'm shocked this guy isn't American. That's how much of an asshole he is. He's that big of an asshole where he'll say something and you'll go, are you sure he's not American? He sounds American. He just sounds like just a complete dick.
Yeah.
There's no humbleness. There's none of that.
And he's never even been to America for college or some shit?
No, I'm sure he popped on over to pick up an attitude, but he had to do it early because he starts young, this guy.
Maybe he ordered it on eBay.
Our guy is Marlon King, guys. Yeah. Marlon King, if you're a UK listener, I'm sure you've heard of him because he's in your paper every other week.
You're well aware.
You're well aware. Americans, rest of the world, you're not aware of Marlon King. Oh boy, buckle up because he's a lot of fun, this guy. Another ladies' man, just a super sweetheart he is, obviously. This guy's a fucking lunatic, and he's just such an asshole, I can't wait to rip him apart. So let's have a ball with this. His name is Marlon Francis King.
Great middle name.
Yeah, it's
fucking
Francis Albert Sinatra. But he's no Frank Sinatra.
No.
He's born April 26, 1980, in Dulwich, London, England.
All right.
He's a 6'1" guy, which in soccer seems like a pretty good size that you'd want to be. Football, excuse me. Once again, we're going to reiterate, we have done a soccer episode. We've done two, actually, one Brazilian and one UK. Mm-hmm. We just want to get across, we don't know a fucking thing about soccer. We don't know a fucking thing about soccer, and neither of us have ever been to England.
Nope.
So if we get shit wrong, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just fucking feel free, shout it out on Twitter, laugh at us, whatever, but
run with us with it.
Run with us.
Yeah.
We're trying. Believe me, I tried my best. I looked into it. We're not from there. I don't know shit about soccer. Soccer's one of those things you have to kind of know your whole life. Like football, like American football or even baseball. And I don't know shit about it, but I tried so hard. Let's stay on track. Let's try to do this. He grew up in London there. There is not a lot on his early life at all. He is hard to get a read on his young years, like his school years, teen years. There's really nothing on him. I assume he just played a shitload of soccer and was pretty quiet because his legal troubles start in his teen years. Mm-hmm. But before that, I don't know anything about him. I don't know his family life.
Really?
It's and I really scoured, and I don't
assume he put it all together, and then once he became an athlete, the ego just took control?
Maybe, but before he started being his lunacy is so consistent. He's one of the most consistent individuals ever for a crazy person, because you'd expect crazy people, they're erratic. That's part of their deal. He's very consistent.
Pick up on that pretty early when they're crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, his childhood, he had to have some, because he's got some rage issues, and I don't know what his relationship with his mom is like, not to get too psychological, but it had to be sort of fucked up.
Really?
If we get into his whole deal here. So his legal troubles start out in 1997. He's playing for Dulwich Hamlet, which I assume is a little local soccer team.
17 years old.
He's 17 years old. Right. It's just a little whatever. It's not a pro team. 17 years old, and during a match, he chokes an opponent.
What the fuck?
Like, they had to peel him off him. He's choking an opponent. So much so that he got arrested during the match.
Wow.
That's how much he was choking his opponent.
Arrested for assault.
During the match. Taking away from him to get off the field. Like, in America, you go see a basketball game, a guy comes up, punches another guy, gets tossed out of the game. The cops don't escort him off the court like in cuffs. No. They took him away because this wasn't a pro thing. This was a bunch of kids playing, and he's choking the shit out of somebody like a maniac.
Did the guy flop? Because that's such a fucking popular thing.
Flopped. Yeah, I think he flopped.
While he was choking.
King jumped on top of him. Like
made
Ralphie
the choke
in a Christmas
look worse.
Story. Yeah, really just started pounding him good. But no, he's choking him, gets pulled off of him for that. They take him away to the police station. Mm-hmm. They book him.
Yep.
He leaves the police station, returns to the field.
Oh my God.
He comes back to the field because he wanted to beat the shit out of the guy more.
I like it.
So then he punched him and headbutted him.
Headbutted him. Is that a common thing in England? Is that their go-to finishing
It's one
move?
Of his go-tos. It's really one of his...
That's such a weird move.
Yeah, it's in his quiver. He takes it out like a little arrow, and he uses it good throughout his whole life. The headbutt is
weird move.
It's a strong move for him. If he was a video game character, that would be like his specialty, R1, L1, BBA, and he would headbutt.
The Marlon King headbutt.
The Marlon King headbutt. So he headbutts him so good. Well, I don't know what caused this because he punched and headbutted him. He couldn't decide which part of his body he wanted to pound the man with, so he just used both. He broke his cheekbone.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a good. He fucking attacked him.
Yeah.
That wasn't just I'm gonna smack him and give you a little headbutt. He fucking went after the dude's face, man. That's no joke. For this, he's given 80 hours of community order, which I assume is community service in the States. We call that, where you have to go out and like pick garbage up off the fucking highway,
or fucking a red jumpsuit or whatever.
Yeah, or do whatever. And who knows what he had to do? He might have been involved. I don't know. In Britain, if they make you pick garbage up off the highway,
some orange vest.
I hope maybe over there they're civilized enough to not throw the garbage on the highway to begin with, like we are here.
We're trash.
There's no big gulp 44-ounce cups on the side of the highway. See, there's a first declarative statement that British people are going to be like, it's a mess over here. You have no idea.
There's coffee cups everywhere.
Oh, it's gross.
There's a guy on Twitter named Manj Senja.
I love that guy.
That guy corrects everything we do.
All of our Gavin Grant episodes.
Tells us we're fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, we don't know anything about... Let's see you do a story on Willie Mays Aikens. Well, you do that. We'll see how that goes.
Call us all trash and it'll be accurate. So.
I'm okay with that. So, for this wonderful feat of sportsmanship, he receives 80 hours of community order, and he's ordered to pay £250 in compensation.
Is that a lot of money?
£250 is not a lot of money in 1997.
Okay.
But I guess you guys get medical care on that side of the pond, I believe. Like over here, that would be like you're in it for $10K right away just for the doctor.
Right.
Just for you'd have to pay his medical bills, which broken cheekbone would be $80,000.
That's a surgery.
And then he would sue you on top of that. So this
and then he's
going
to be addicted to pain pills, and you've got to fucking put him through rehab and all that shit too.
This would cost you at least $100,000.
Yeah.
And
then
the
pain and
States.
suffering is 3 times medical bills. It's
lost
that'll
weight.
bankrupt
If he was about to sign with a professional team, he's screwed.
That'll bankrupt you.
Here, £250. It happens. You know what I mean? What are you going to do?
Sometimes you got to headbutt somebody.
So, yeah, you have to. So all of this prowess on the field, all of his chokings and headbuttings and punchings was noticed by a professional team in 1997.
And they dig it.
And they were like, this is our guy. Yes. He's a striker. We need a striker.
Yeah, he is with his forehead.
Let's do this. Yeah, he's the man. Yeah. Shit, that guy can do a header there.
Yeah, they saw him smash a guy's face, and they're like, imagine what he'd do to a ball through a goalie's mitts.
He's signed by Barnett, which is, I guess, one of those junior league, or what do they call them? I don't know if it's schoolboy terms. I remember it's schoolboy. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but he's signed by Barnett. It's probably Barnett. That's how they talk over there. Philip Mignon.
Right.
So he signed there. He does a very good job over the next 2 years there. He scores 14 goals in 36 games.
That sounds like a lot.
That's good. That's good, I think. I think if you're like almost 1 goal every 2, if you average like half a goal a game, I think that's pretty fucking good.
1 every 2 games. It's pretty solid, yeah.
They score like 2 goals the whole goddamn team.
Sometimes 1, sometimes none.
So I assume that's decent. Mm-hmm. I was looking at soccer scores and looking at other guys, and that's actually a good number.
It's the only goddamn sport that they say nil.
Nil. I like that, actually. Nil.
Fucking weird.
It sounds much more insulting. It's 3-0. You have dick. It might as well be 3 dick.
Wouldn't that be great if they did that in fucking football, in American football?
Just some fat guinea up in the booth going, it's 14 Ugats. They got nothing, this fucking team. Nothing. They're a bunch of bums. Nil says that in one word.
Here we are, halftime, 21 fucking donut.
Yeah. No, Nil says it. Yeah. It wraps it up in a beautiful little package. Yeah. It's gift wrap with a bow on top.
So
Nil,
hurtful.
You shitbags. Got to score a goal. Score a goal, you sorry asses. So he goes 2 years of keeping his shit mildly together, playing for this Barnett team. And then in 1999, he is arrested, and there's very little details on this, but he keeps his streak going here. He's arrested. He's fined £240, odd number, for 2 counts of theft and 2 counts of fraudulently using a tax disc.
What the fuck is a tax disc?
I don't know what a tax disc is at all, but he fraudulently used it.
He used it for whatever purpose it is for. He used it for the opposite.
For the opposite, and that is frowned upon over there, apparently.
To the tune of 240 pounds.
To the tune of 240, which was the same thing that he paid.
That's cheaper.
That's
cheaper than bashing a dude in the face with your forehead.
That's pretty good. I gotta say, like if I'm sitting here and go, I can fraudulently use a tax disc, which doesn't sound exciting, or I can break that guy's face into pieces, and it costs me the same amount.
For $10 more or £10 more.
It,
I'm in.
Do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah, if we say dollar by mistake, sorry, we mean pound. Yeah. Everything is going to be in pounds in this episode. There's not a goddamn dollar mentioned.
I got to figure out the goddamn exchange rate in 1999.
The exchange rate and then the inflation rate. There's a lot of cross-referencing here.
It's horrible.
Either way, you know, they let him...
It's money.
You can punch and headbutt a guy on the soccer field, and that is worth less than doing this for some reason. I don't know. So in 2000, again, impressed by his prowess, obviously, on and off the field, he's signed by Gillingham.
All right.
And he scored... Now,
that's a British as fuck.
Gillingham, that is. That's super fucking British. And... This is, I guess, moving up a little bit here. He scored 40 goals in 101 appearances.
That's great.
Between 2000 and 2003.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that's great.
That's really, that's good. It's about 40%. He's averaging about, 0.4.
Almost,
that's pretty good.
Almost half a game. That's pretty solid.
That's pretty solid, yeah. So I imagine... He looks like a soccer player. I know this. This is how little we know. I'm looking at him going, he looks like a soccer player, that guy. Like, he's built like a soccer player. He looks like, you would look at him and go, I bet he's good at soccer. Not here, because you don't even think of soccer. But in England, you go, that guy's good. Yeah, he can
in America, you're like, that guy looks like a wide receiver. He's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, he is a big dude. He's stocky. That's the other
Bald
thing,
head,
too.
Scary as fuck.
All of this assaulting, he's a big, strong, athletic guy, and it's like, he has no trouble just throwing his weight around anytime he wants to. So he's playing for them. You'd think, he's playing great on the field, so you think he's kind of keeping it together off the field. I don't think so.
No, not the case.
Even close. 2002, he's arrested for driving drunk and also uninsured. Because when you don't have any insurance, you want to get hammered so you can really have a better chance of plowing into something. For this, he's given a 9-month driving ban.
Driving ban, that's such a wild term.
Isn't it? Driving ban.
They suspended his license. You're banned from driving.
Ban. Driving 1-0. Ban. 9 months to 0.
You'll be doing nil driving.
And I love the court that they were at. The Camberwell Green Magistrates.
Oh, my God.
I want to get sentenced there. It sounds very fancy.
Sounds like a vacation.
It sounds very fancy.
Sounds like there's coffee in the lobby.
It sounds like really like white bread people would take their family there for like a summer vacation. You
get your sentence and a crumpet.
You get your sentence, you get a crumpet, The Camberwell Green
We
Magistrates.
sound like such dicks.
We just don't know because we're ignorant as fuck.
Right.
And so we hope you're enjoying it.
Until I travel there, this is what you get.
This is what we want to go there. It's great, but we're going to just talk. We have no idea. We're going to try our best, though.
Hopefully we don't get banned from there before we get...
We'll have driving bans. It'll be the whole
travel
country.
Ban, enter ban.
UK, whatever, us nil.
No.
Fuck. We got nothing.
We will get nil.
So 9-month driving ban for that. Now, a week later, he's in court, he does that. And a week later, he's at another court.
Good grief.
This is a week later. He's in another court completely. He's at the Greenwich Magistrates.
All right.
Which, we have Greenwich Village, so that doesn't sound as fancy.
No.
This is 1 week after. He's charged with criminal damage and attempting to obtain property by deception. That doesn't sound good.
Sounds like theft.
That sounds like theft is what that sounds, or conning, or being, I don't know, full of shit would be a good way to put it. I think that's the legal term they use in the UK.
Legally, you are full of shit.
Sir, I've ruled you full of shit. The court has voted 1-0. He was given a 6-month rehabilitation order, which, from what I gathered and looking it up, that's like probation.
All right.
That's I guess, you got to go in and check in.
You get rehab for your thievery.
They keep an eye on you for 6 months.
You get rehab to get all that shit out of you.
Absolutely. And he's ordered to pay £100 in compensation to the victim.
Cheap.
So this isn't a fine. This is compensation.
Okay, so this is like restitution.
Whoever he obtained property by deceiving, I assume. They had to give him £100.
Yeah.
So the property he stole was worth £100, basically. So he's going through all this. He's on a team. Stop dicking around.
Like a fucking iPod or something?
Concentrate.
What are you doing?
You're scoring goals left and right. Just concentrate on your future. Go make your money.
Stay on the fucking courts. Stay on the magistrates.
So you'd think, okay, now he's had a bad couple weeks, right? Like, look, it's 2002. He's had a bad couple weeks. He's playing for this team. He's still doing well on the
Right.
field. He's like, okay, Jesus Christ, I fucked up a little there. Who knows what if it was a mistake? He stole something by mistake. And then the driving thing, I thought I had one less than I did. My insurance check, I forgot to pay the online thing. It lapsed. I don't know what happened.
Everybody goes through some shit.
It happens, right? I'm not going to judge him for that. So, let's see if he can pull it together here and just let's score some goals, Marlon, okay? Almost.
Get some W's.
End of 2002, he's arrested for driving a stolen BMW.
What the? How do you get that?
I don't know. Stolen BMW worth 30,000 pounds.
Wow.
It's like a nice car.
Yeah.
He stole like a new BMW or someone.
He stole a 3 Series somewhere.
Yeah, whatever it is, he's driving around in a stolen BMW like a fucking moron.
Idiot.
Why are you doing this? He's been arrested twice already this year.
And now we got number 3.
Why wouldn't he just go, I don't want to take it for a ride?
Yeah.
He wasn't even in the passenger seat where his buddy pulled up and said, hop in, let's go. No,
hop in. We'll go for a ride around the town.
No. He's driving. He's like, hey, how you doing?
I want to feel the cobblestone beneath the
Yeah,
tires.
he's beeping his horn and waving and shit, going through drive-thrus. You guys have drive-thrus over there?
Bro,
I
just picture him like, it's probably somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is it Big Ben there?
They have
Big
fat
Ben's
white
there,
people
right?
there, too. They have fat white people there, too. They have drive-thrus. Fuck
He's
it.
probably just driving around in a circle like in vacation. Hey, kids, look, Big Ben.
Yeah. Hey, kids, look, Big Ben. Hey, Big Ben.
Hey, there's Big Ben.
Fucking love that. That's amazing.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. European Vacation. So, all right. For this, maybe they're going to let him off easy again.
No.
150 pounds.
God, no.
No.
Finally, they throw the book at him.
He gets 18 months in prison for this.
Wow.
Yeah, they say, or enough of your shit, asshole.
18 months for stealing a car?
For stealing a car. Well, stealing a car, and then he just
and then the other
stole
shit.
other shit,
Yeah.
and then he's fucking headbutting people and choking
Finally.
people. This guy's a menace to society at this point.
18 months seems steep.
18 months seems steep, but he is released after only 5 months.
Oh, that's nice.
So he serves 5 months.
They're like,
It's not,
we need those 40 goals.
that's the remarkable thing here is people overseas. If you look up a guy named Ray Rice, is an NFL football player. Ray Rice was caught on film in an elevator punching his wife in the face,
Straight up drilling her,
and then dragging her limp body out. Horrible shit, right? He has still not played a snap in the NFL since that.
That's accurate.
Okay. Greg Hardy, on the other hand, is another NFL player, has menaced many women, much worse than that punch, if that's possible, but it actually is.
He doesn't stop after one punch.
No, and he involves toilet bowls.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy shit. So, and yet he's been on a team.
Right.
But that guy's was on tape. Everybody saw it, but you can't be known to be whatever over here and have people be okay with you.
Right.
In England, they will pay your salary while you're in jail. What? We'll get to it. There's a thing where he's sitting in jail having his salary paid. Yeah. It's nuts.
It's soccer, though. Remember with Bruno, they fucking signed him while he was in prison.
Jail.
That's crazy.
They do that too. They can't wait for them to get out of jail.
And he was in prison for life or some shit.
No, he had years, and they were like, well, he can get early work release. And then it's like, what?
We'll sign him up in the hopes that he gets out.
The only way he got out was if the soccer team wanted him. So they could keep a murderer in jail in Bruno de Souza, and they said, no, let's get him out. we need a goalie.
It's like Suicide Squad.
People really like soccer. You guys are into this shit. And so I respect that.
No doubt.
Respect that. So 2003, he's still playing for Gillingham at this point. They kept him around. Like I said, it's fine. This is a year after the BMW incident here. This is one of the funniest. It's not funny because it's horrible and it's a violent act, but it's hilarious because I'm picturing him in my head doing this, and I'm just like, this guy's a maniac. It's just too funny to me. Okay, picture this. Two police officers arrive at Soho Soho to find Marlon King chasing 2 women down the street.
I'm in.
Chasing 2 women down the street with his belt wrapped around his fist, trying to catch up to them. I don't know how fast these women are. He's a professional athlete, but he's chasing them down the street with his glove, yelling shit and threatening at women.
Unbelievable.
That's another thing, too. There's always witnesses to everything he does. It's never like, I don't know, we could believe him. It's like 85 people saw the exact opposite of what he says every single time. And he's full of shit, too, this guy. That's the other thing.
They hammered him on the first charge.
80 people could watch him do something, and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was in bed at home, and they're like, no, you were there. We watched you. You said, I'm Marlon King, motherfucker, and then headbutted a guy. We watched.
That's fantastic.
What the hell is wrong with you? So he apparently, he was chasing them down the street, belt wrapped around his fist, trying to assault these 2 women.
Right.
By the way, doesn't know these women.
What?
These aren't acquaintances.
Where did he run into
this isn't an old girlfriend.
Right.
These are just women. One of the women says he punched her in the face and spat on her for, quote, no apparent reason.
He's just walking down the street and just drilled her?
I don't know him. I don't know why he did it. We were out on the street. Next thing you know, he punched me in the face, spat on me, and started taking his belt off and chasing me.
I'm starting to grab that picture of him having problems with his mom.
He's a loon. Yeah, this is a crazy person, this guy. And he comes across, he looks very well put together. He's one of these guys where you look at him and you go, he's not a menace to society. Right. And it's like, holy shit.
And
underneath,
then drills your girlfriend in the face.
He's like Yosemite Sam underneath. He's like a madman. So yeah, no apparent reason. It's just, I love that. That'll come up more too. He does a lot of things for, quote, no apparent reason. So many
things.
Just see
what it feels like or something?
Other people are like, then he did this. And they're like, well, why did he do that? Like, no apparent reason.
I have no idea.
He's just crazy. He's just fucking nuts,
he felt
this guy.
Like it.
So for this arrest here, he's charged with common assault for doing that.
Yeah.
He's fined £1,000 this time. Ooh, we're upping it.
Now,
the ante.
yeah.
We're upping the ante. I guess if you, maybe an extra for the spit, I assume.
I'm guessing.
And ordered to pay $500 in compensation, too, for jacking some woman in the face and spitting on her in the street. So good. She deserves something. Jesus.
Yeah, no doubt.
Crazy person's walking down the street just spitting on people. I just love that. This is the part that makes me crazy, okay? I'm trying to imagine how it went down, right? I assume he, said something, tried to come on to them maybe, and maybe they were like, go fuck yourself, because that part didn't come out. And then he, spit on her.
Right.
And he was mad, so he's like, and then he's like, no, fuck that. And he goes over and punches her. He's like, yeah, and then they started walking away, and he's like, no, fuck, no.
Get back here.
He starts taking his belt off. No.
Oh, you know,
how dare she say
loops.
that shit? Yeah. Because he's a guy that can cool off.
Yeah.
Be arrested, taken to a police station, and then be like, now I'm going to go back and jack that guy
no doubt.
right in his goddamn face and break his cheekbone.
Absolutely.
Most people, they go home after they get arrested for choking the guy. They're not still in a rage.
No.
That's what I figure happened here. He spit on me, punched her, they walked away crying, and he was like, how dare that bitch cry? And then he whipped off his belt and started wrapping it around his fist, going, I'll give you something to cry about, like an old father.
And you know, when they were running, you know that sound was like a marathon gun. That sound of belt coming out of belt loops. Oh, it sounds so menacing.
They just ran.
Yeah.
Because one was probably running through. One was guiding the other through her
blinded
tears
from
after being punched in the face.
And the biological
and
warfare.
And the other, she's got an eye closed from a punch from one eye, and the other one's got tears in it.
The other one's blurry.
Spit. So
I've never been spit in the eye.
No.
I've had spit on me. It takes a second for it to Did this motherfucker just spit on me?
That temperature is not right. That's not rain.
When it hits you, that feel of shame that washes over you, I'm now this guy. That's what this guy thinks of me. I'm that low to him.
So now follow that with a
and then you get
punch
punched.
and a belt pull. And this guy going, come back,
get over here, unbelievable,
stop crying.
all the fucking just. What's the word I'm looking for? God damn it! All the instructions that he's screaming at her.
Oh, she's just
she's trying to process that she has spit on her.
Yeah. Oh, what a disaster!
Fucking horrible.
And she doesn't know why. That's the other reason.
And at the same time, she's trying to process why the fuck is this happening?
There wasn't like he was looking for her and she knew if she found him, if he found her, she was in trouble. This is a stranger.
She's just trying to put together this Wednesday night.
No apparent reason. I mean, give me a break. So once again, his prowess here, you got to sign this guy. If
Absolutely.
I'm a team, I'm going, I need him.
He's after what he's after.
He's after what he's after. And it's funny, too, because for on the court shit, he's always, or on the field, he's always praised as being so aggressive. Aggression is his number one thing, and that's, he's like an American football player. It's like, you want a guy to go take a guy's head off that's coming across the middle. He might get in a fight in a nightclub once in a while. That's just aggression. Aggression is aggression, on and off. So he signed with the most British-sounding team I've ever heard in my life, Nottingham Forest.
Shit, yeah.
He signed to Nottingham Forest.
You've got Robin Hood running down the field in between innings. Innings. What the fuck am I doing?
They play in tights with a feather sticking out of their hat. I can guarantee that.
And
shit.
in between, what do they have? 3 periods, right?
In soccer?
Is it 2?
No,
it's
soccer.
2 halves, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 halves. So
yeah.
at halftime. I'm just trying to figure
Yeah,
this
we're
shit
trying
out.
to figure
I'm
out
trying
soccer.
to make jokes, and it ain't working because I don't know what your fucking game is.
God damn you guys. Make that shit simpler, you son of a bitches.
In between halves, Robin Hood's taking shots at arrows. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ. So Nottingham Forest, this is November 2003, after all this insanity goes down, pays $950,000 for him.
950,000 pounds.
950,000 pounds, and which I guess for a lower league player coming into the other league, that's considered like a lot to pay for a guy.
Sounds like a lot.
So they really want. I mean, he was that. Imagine if he wasn't a lunatic off the field, how much in demand he would be. Everybody would want him. They'd be like, "Holy shit!"
This guy's got his shit together and he can play.
You know you're good when you're just no apparent reason punching and spitting on women publicly, and teams are like, "I gotta have him. I gotta have that."
To
guy.
the tune of $950,000.
Yeah, if you're mediocre, they're not paying attention to that shit. So he plays for City Ground. This is 2003, 2004. He only scores 6 goals in 26 games his first season. So he has a little kind of a lull in his career here for a minute where he's not quite doing as well as No, he's not quite doing as well as he was before because I think he went up a league. Yeah. So it's a little harder for him. It'd be like going from AA to AAA, and pitching's a little different. They got a little better curveballs up there, type of thing.
The slider's nasty.
Exactly. Their headbutt is vicious. Their choke attack is impressive. So in 2004, he plays for the Jamaica national team, international, because this is when he starts getting really into the international competition. He's playing for Jamaica, and he'll have a tumultuous relationship with the Jamaican, the Reggae Boys, as they're called.
I love it.
The Jamaican team there. It's funny. It's all very emotional, this whole thing. It's very, very funny. Now, here we go with the loaning. There's a loaning in soccer, where in American sports we don't have
borrow a player?
You can loan it to, like, I guess a team can, let's say from what I read, and I read up on this a lot to try to figure this out. Let's say I have you to a 3-year deal.
Right.
I can loan you for a year to that team, and they have to pay me a fee for the loan.
And your salary.
And they have to pay you your salary, and then they pay us a fee for the loan, and then we get you back at the end of the year.
Oh my goodness!
We have you for 3 years.
This could be great in the NBA.
You can loan. This would be a very neat system. I do like the way they do this. This
would
really
help make the fucking NBA competitive.
It does. Plus, it also allows the teams a lot more freedom for movement of players.
Yeah.
There's a lot of freedom of movement here, and also too for the players, it's a good thing too. If they want to leave, it's easier to get rid of them because they can loan them to somebody.
If they got legal problems or some shit, they can skate for a bit.
And they can skate for a bit, like here. He's loaned to Leeds United in 2005 after not having, a couple of lousy seasons with City Ground. He has a lousy season there, too. Scores no goals in 2005
That's
at
not
all.
good.
Not good at all, yeah. But he's not scoring goals, Jimmy. But what he is scoring is arrests.
Yeah.
He's scoring
getting some notches on some belt.
This, again, he is arrested in Leicester. How do you say it? Leicester Square. I really want to get that right.
Leicester Square.
Leicester Square.
Nice.
It sounds nice. He's arrested
they got a Starbucks there, I guarantee it.
Nowadays, they probably do. Yeah. So he's approaching women in the square. And apparently he approached a woman, because he's always after the ladies too. He likes to approach women. Every story begins with he approached a woman. Every single one. And
it didn't go well, and spit came out.
And in every article it says was, quote, cold-shouldered. That's what they call it, which I think is a great term over there. I enjoy that a lot. Good turn of phrase, Brits. I enjoy that. Turning that into a verb. So he approached a woman and spit in her face.
Jesus.
For, quote,
with the spit.
No apparent reason. Is her exact quote. Just walked up. I don't know what was exchanged, if he perceived a slight or what it was. Spit in her face. They said why. She said no apparent reason. No apparent reason. Okay, none. Doesn't matter. A lot of our criminals so far that we've gone through we know why they're doing their crimes. There's a motivation.
Right.
He did this for that.
Bad childhood, cocaine addict.
Cocaine.
Right.
Wanted to get rid of the baby's mother.
Right. Tequila addiction.
Something.
There's always
heroin.
something.
There's always this guy.
Just nothing.
No apparent reason.
Just fucking
nil.
He's nuts.
Nil. His reasons are nil. This fucking guy. Nil. So he is convicted in this case of, quote, threatening behavior, which
Sounds
is
like
a
it.
very cool charge also. He's fined £300 for this and $500 in compensation. So you get $500.
A little bit of restitution for spit.
You get $500 if someone spits in your face. You get £500 for that bottom fucking line. And he's fined £300, which I think is funny.
So he's out £800 for spitting on somebody.
For spitting on a woman for no apparent reason.
Doesn't matter. He's got 375 of it or 395 of it.
I feel like he's like, I'd like to spit on a woman right now. I'll pay $800.
975 was it?
I'll pay.
It's so much. He's got so many pounds. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He can spit all day long.
Yeah, I think he honestly thought of it as like a transaction. Like, I want steak. I'm going to go out to the restaurant and buy a steak. I think he said, I'd like to spit on a woman. Eventually, it'll cost me about £800. I'm okay with that.
You'll have the spit, lady.
You'll have my spit. It's good stuff.
Would you like a coffee? No? Well, you'll have my spit then.
You'll have my spit. So now King, in end of 2005 and into 2006, he's loaned to Watford. Remember Watford? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Didn't Watford sign Gavin Grant on schoolboy terms, I believe?
They sure did.
So Watford likes the fuck-ups, apparently. Although Gavin Grant wasn't known to be a fuck-up yet when they signed him. It didn't come out till later.
Maybe they fucked him up.
So at Watford here, he does well. And actually, this was around the same time Gavin Grant was there, too. Gavin Grant, I want to say, was like 2004, 2005. Like, this is very close to the same time.
All right.
We might have had a lunatic headbutter and a murderer on the same team, which would have been amazing. So
here, I'll Google it while you talk. Go ahead.
He's loaned to Watford here. He scores 22 goals in 45 appearances.
That sounds good.
That's half a goal a game. That's killing it right there. And he helps Watford get promoted to the Premier League. Also,
really?
Because in this, I guess if you're good in these leagues, you can, like, teams go in and out of leagues. If you're shitty one year, you drop down to the next tier league the next year, which means less money for you, less everything. It's less prestige, less whatever. I like that too. Actually, I really like the way they do their sports over there. I dig.
It's much better. It's much more organized than we have it, where it's like just contract, you stay with this team, and that's your play.
Well, we're a slavery country. That's why we have a history. We just sign you, and then you can't.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
That's what it fucking is. Those are indentured servitude contracts. Whereas they're like, well, you can be loaned, and then you go here, and they can get rid of you, and you can quit. It's much looser there when it comes to that kind of shit. So in 2006, the next year, if you remember, he was playing for Jamaica in the international team there. He is banned from the Jamaican team at this point.
Shit.
Just 3 days before a big match with England. His father is from Jamaica, I believe. That's why. So he can play on the Jamaican team.
Right.
I guess the Jamaican team, from what I saw, was like all English people and 5 Jamaicans that are like actually from Jamaica.
Okay.
So that's how that works. He's banned for breaking the team curfew, which seems like an official reason, but I bet you
there's got to be more.
How many times did he spit on teammates for, quote, no apparent reason?
Or how many times was he just missing all night?
Who knows? Right. Yeah, out headbutting people and fucking spitting on women broads for no reason. So October 2006, he suffers a pretty serious knee injury. He only plays 12 games this whole season. Watford has a bad year due to this, because that's not helping. He was their kind of premier scorer.
Right, that's their guy.
He's out. He's their striker, and so they're bumped back out of the Premier League at that point. Watford. So they had a little, back and forth. So that's not great for them. So then, but this was because of an injury, and they saw that, and they saw his great performance the year before, so they signed him to a new contract. They're hoping for him to bounce back from the injury, and he does. He scores 36 goals and 81 appearances for Watford in 07. So he's really consistent at that around little less than half a goal a game number. That's what he does, in a league that is, up whatever, that he's up to the skill level.
Right.
Starts getting big money interest from bigger teams. From Fulham, he starts getting, once they want to give him. Now they're going to pay him. He's going to get paid and go.
You're going to be our star.
You're going to be you're just stepping up to the big time now.
You're going to be in the spotlight.
You're going to get paid here. 2007, he's reinstated by Jamaica after a new coach takes over the team. a new manager takes over the team.
He's willing to take on the problem.
They bring him back. They're like, this fucking guy scores his ass off. I think he scored 12 goals in 21 international games for them.
Not bad.
So that's
pretty good.
More than half.
Yeah,
more than half a game. So that's terrific.
He's killing it.
They want him in there, obviously. So that happens there. Now, 2008, Fulham, like I said, was trying to sign him to a big money deal. He fails their medical exam in 2008.
Really?
This is very, 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 very shady, though.
For
this
what?
whole thing here. Fulham manager Roy Hodgson later said that he felt that they got lucky that he failed it. And this seems really shady. Like there was some backdoor shit here because
like they threw somebody else's piss in there.
Yeah, listen to this. This is Roy Hodgson. This is the manager for Fulham on Marlon King here. Quote, "I think we got lucky that we didn't sign him. There was a problem with the medical, and it also became a problem when we found out he had a jail sentence. Mohammed Al-Fayed was not at all keen on that, so the transfer was allowed to collapse, and he went to Wigan instead." So I feel like the owner was like, they were going to sign him, and he was going through the process, and they were like, he was like, whoa, this guy's been to fucking jail? Wait, he's spitting on women in the streets and stealing cars? No.
He's wrapping leather around his fist and chasing chicks he doesn't know?
I don't want this jerk off.
No.
Nil. Not happening.
No.
The chances are nil that he's coming to my fucking team. Tell us he's got a bad knee.
Yeah.
Hey, doctor, he's got a bad knee, right?
His meniscus is torn, right?
Right. I feel like it was one of those things that just felt very Mohammed Al-Fayed. I feel like was slinging some money around and making that shit happen.
I hope so. Yeah.
Just a hunch. So 2008, he's signed by Wigan Athletic for £4 million.
Oh my God.
So now he's getting paid.
They're taking on a big problem for big money.
Now they're expecting a major talent, and so now he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Now he can afford to go around and spit on women, and chase them with belts.
Yeah,
now
he could before, and now he really can.
This is double his last contract per week. It's $40,000 a week he's making, which is double what he was making. $40,000 a week. Think about that. £40,000 a week.
That would be so fun.
How great would that be?
So fun.
I might wrap my belt around my fist.
I
and
might
start
not
chasing
worry about spitting on people. I really wouldn't.
Not necessarily women, just whoever got
just
my
anybody.
way. Yeah, I don't have any women issues.
Just willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. I'll spit on a guy for that. Just spray $100. It's like, Sonny Corleone when he breaks that guy's camera in The Godfather. And just like, there you go, clean it up, buddy.
Get out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
Right.
So, he signed there.
I'd be permanently licking my thumb and just flicking bills.
I'll spit on you. If I take my wad out, there's a loogie fork coming. I'm about to spit on you and flick a couple hundreds on and walk away. Court says 500 pounds. It's for that compensation. Fuck you.
Get out of here.
Twice, 500 pounds. So now I gave him a New York accent. 500 pounds, asshole. Here's my fucking money. Get out of here, you fucking bum. That's fantastic. Does not speak like that at all, Marlon King. So he only scores 1 goal in 18 appearances for Wigan. Not quite worth $40K a week at that point. So they loan him out. They're like, let's try to fucking get him off.
Let's get
our
some
books
money
onto somebody else's.
Get some money for this guy.
They loan him in 2008 to Hull, which he scores 5 goals in 20 appearances there, which is
stepping
still
it
not
up, but
great.
it's still not good.
Not good. Then he goes to Middlesbrough. Borough? No, it's not Borough, though. It's Middlesbrough.
Right.
And scores 2 goals in 13. And the whole time, he's got a bunch of nagging injuries this whole time, too. So they're like, is he shit, or is he just injured and he needs to just get healthy?
Can he figure this out or not?
Yeah, what is the story? So, he's trying to get his act together here. He's trying to get healthy.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is on November 13th, 2008. You go out to a casino.
That'll do it.
Scarborough's Opera House Casino.
Yep.
And you get into a public fight with your teammate.
Yes.
You get into a fist fight with your goddamn teammate.
In a casino.
In the middle of a casino.
Yeah.
That's how you show, look, guys, I've had some injuries. I'm kind of banged up, but I'm trying to get back on track, and I'm going to make it work. That's how you show it.
You don't think I can run? I'll chase that motherfucker around the craps
table.
table.
Where is my belt? God damn it! I will chase him down the hair.
I will weave through this fucking
casino. Come here, I'm going to spit on you. So,
I'll knock a pit boss over and spit in his face.
This lunatic gets in a public fight with Dean Windass, is his name, or Windass. And I guess Windass, I got to call him Windass. I can't call him Windass.
I got to call him Windass.
So
they named him Fart. That's awesome.
It's just too...
Windass? Are you shitting me?
I'm not mature enough to say it like that. I have to say it the other way or else I'm going to giggle every time. Dean Windass
How the fuck does that keep going for generations?
What the fuck?
How doesn't somebody just go, can we just go by Williams? This is bullshit.
Something else.
This is so dumb.
How about just Windy?
Right. What about Wyndham? That sounds so British.
That's a name.
Yeah.
That's a real name.
Put a Y where the I would be. Call us Wyndham. Wind ass is not going to work for me.
Anything. No. Wind arm. Wind anything but ass. You don't put ass and wind together in a human being's name. Ever.
What the fuck?
You don't put ass and wind together.
I mean, that's one way to keep the spotlight on you forever. Just having wind ass stitched across your shoulders.
Kids are chanting shit at you. It's sad.
Oh, they're cruel. How did he live to be old enough to play in professional soccer? I'd lynch myself. I'd jump off a fucking balcony. This fucking last name, are you shitting me?
Windass, no. No, Windass, it can't be Windass. Oh, so yeah, the old Dave Windass here. They get into it.
Dean, right?
Dean,
yeah.
Dave. I called him Dave.
Yeah.
Davey Windass. That sounds like a better name. Davey Windass.
I can't get enough of this fucking guy already.
Dean Windass.
Right.
Dean Windass.
Dean W.
Dean Dubs. Apparently he was the team's main striker before Marlon King came in, and they've had a bit of a healthy competition. Yeah. He's like some new comic that came into the club.
You know, they just
call
him Fart every day.
Yeah, come here, Farty. Although it's Britain, they might be a little classier than that. Yeah. Probably not, though.
Come here, shit cloud or something.
Just call him, come here, you windy cunt. Let's get over here. So, Marlon King, I'll give you one guess on his mode of assault. 2 guesses.
I'm gonna go with no apparent motive. No reason whatsoever.
No reason. How do you think he attacked him? How do you think he went at
him?
Headbutt it
fucking
is, my man. He headbutts old Windass, who, I mean, he got him good too. There was witnesses to the two fighting. Yeah. He said they were like arguing and exchanging abusive language. And this is the witness's statement on the matter here. Witness said, quote, King threw himself at Windass, headbutting him in the face. There was blood and drinks were sent flying. It was embarrassing. They were like snarling animals. King also swore at the receptionist. God. When players left at 4:30 a.m., everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Their behavior was violent and appalling.
Nobody says that shit here.
No.
They find the dumbest people ever to ask them what happened. They're like, that shit was wild, son.
Yo, man, I don't know, man. People...
shit was flying everywhere.
One guy saw the other guy, think they were arguing about something. The other guy, he hit him. He jumped on top of him, and then, I don't know, somebody broke it up. And I turned around because I said, I don't want to know nothing about this because I ain't nobody asking me something. I got warrants.
I got warrants.
I'm on probation. I don't know what you mean. I'm on parole.
I'm out of this whole thing.
I can't be involved in shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Shit was crazy.
I got kids. That's either I got kids or I'm on parole.
Right.
That's one of the two that an American criminal would have.
Or it's some weirdo on a porch that's just screaming about and trying to describe it as best they can while they're freaking the fuck out.
Well, yeah. Oh, you just hear it. This guy was probably, he sounded like it was violent and appalling.
It was violent and appalling. They were snarling animals.
Disgusted by this behavior. Yeah, it's brutish behavior.
Snarling animals?
Snarling animals.
What the fuck?
That's amazing. That's
a good one.
Grandmother would call your grandmother, you snarling little animal, get over here.
That's chewy.
That's a good one. So this whole thing this is November 13th, 2008. So, you know, it's nice getting toward the holiday season. You want to get into it.
Yeah.
Old Windass is seen being taken home by taxi at like 6 in the morning away from the team hotel, too. Like, he just wanted no part of that shit. I'm going home. I guess the taxi driver, they interviewed the taxi driver that took him away. I'm finding interviews with taxi drivers. So people looking at this shit. They interviewed the taxi driver, and he said he got in, and he seemed like he was just he'd had enough of the night, and he said, "Take me to Leeds," and then he fell asleep. Gave me a pretty good tip too.
Sounds like he passed out, sir.
He said, yeah, he passed out. Well, Christ, he's been hit in the head by a giant head.
Yeah,
hit in the face by a giant head, and drank God knows what. And so, but he did mention that old Windass gave him a nice tip even at the end of that night. So good for you, Dino.
You didn't hit me. You take this cash.
You take this cash. Now, on a good note here for old Marlon King, a happy note, he finds out the first week of December 2008 that his wife's pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
This will be his third kid.
Oh my goodness.
He has a wife, Julie, who was a former Miss Zambia.
Oh.
The African country, so she's probably pretty attractive. Yeah. And they have 2 kids. This is the 3rd child they're about to have here. So they find out. So he's excited. December 7th, which I think is the day after he found out his wife was pregnant, he scores the winning goal in a 2-1 win versus for Hull versus his old team,
right?
Or for Middlesbrough versus Hull, his old team. So,
right.
I mean, sticks it to his old team with a last-second goal.
You know, that shirt came off and he slid.
His wife's pregnant. He's going out. It's time to get your spin on at this point, right? You know, he's going out and having a ball.
Party time.
It's party time. So, the night of December 7th, 2008, my man Marlon King is out on the town. He's got his posse with him. He's got his little entourage with him. He goes out to a nightclub, the Soho Review Bar on Brewer Street.
I've heard of that. That's
West
in like
End.
rap songs and shit.
I don't know if
Soho
it's that
Review?
Soho.
Oh,
They're
you know what that is?
Soho, New York at that point.
Soho Review is actually
This is a British rapper.
it's in a Motley Crue song, and it's about New York.
Well, yeah, because it's Lower East
Strip
Side
club,
Soho. Yeah. But this isn't a strip club. This is apparently like kind of a flash. I'll use a British term. Kind of a flash, kind of a joint.
Flash, you son of a bitch,
That's
you
right.
sly bastard.
I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay, so you know the British kitchen nightmares are the best. British kitchen nightmares and in-betweeners are two of my favorite things in the world. So I love them. Anyway, so yeah, this is kind of like there's a lot of upscale people, a lot of sports people, and like showbiz people. It's that type of shit, you know. It's in the West End in London.
It's the highfalutin fucks.
Yeah, it's a cool crowd, basically, more than even
the in crowd.
Yeah, it's not like old farty money. It's like the cool crowd. Yeah,
it's not wind-ass money.
Cool and rich. So he's out celebrating all this shit. He's like, my wife's pregnant.
Yeah,
fucking, I scored the goal, and that must have felt good for him. So he's drinking. He starts, your wife's pregnant for the third time. You're very excited. You want to hit on a 20-year-old girl at this point.
Fuck yeah.
That's what you want to do. So he starts coming on to this 20-year-old girl who's a law student also. She's a pretty smart chick.
Not the girl to fuck with.
Not the girl to fuck with.
Nope.
If you're a drunken idiot, she's going to see this coming from a mile away. So he's hitting on her. I don't know what his come on line was. I got my wife pregnant yesterday. Like, I don't know what you'd say. Like,
I'll totally spit in your face.
Yeah, I don't even have a belt on, baby. What's up? So he starts hitting on this girl. Her name comes out later on. It's protected. Then she ends up later on removing her own anonymity and coming out in the press.
Oh, wow.
To talk shit about him and has some great quotes about it, too. But we'll get to that. Her name is Emily Carr. Keep in mind, she's 5 feet tall and slim. Little girl. Yeah. And he is not little at all. He's a big guy.
All Emilys are tiny.
Emily Carr, little tiny English law student.
Yeah.
And then this guy with his fucking giant head and his loogie locked and loaded.
It's a goddamn weapon.
He's a freight train, this guy. So they get into a little bit of a thing here. She said she was talking to friends, and he came up and groped her. He grabbed her ass. She said it wasn't just a little pinch. It was a squeeze done in a sexual way. I was really offended. I looked him in the eye and told him, don't do that, don't touch me.
Oh, my God.
She's not taking any shit from this guy, right?
She's empowered.
King is like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? He's doing all that shit, blah, blah, blah. And apparently he was fucking with her, like going, oh, what, like this? And he was like touching her hair, like stroking her hair. What, you know what I mean?
Oh, what an arrogant fuck.
She's like, dude, get the fuck away from me. Yeah. And like nobody wants to step in because he's the guy who just scored the winning goal.
Giant guy that'll smash
he's a giant
her face.
guy. And he's known in that club too, apparently. Also,
great.
So they're, he goes there all the time, and he's the big shot. So they're like, okay, let's see where this goes. Yeah. At this point, with this lunatic in his history, you'd think you'd go, get him the fuck away from that girl. He's crazy. He's a crazy person. So anyway, he ends up walking away. 10 minutes. Yeah. Says 10 minutes. He's away from the group, and also too, she says about this car. She says, I was wearing a demure gray dress. That wasn't tardy or revealing. Tardy. Wasn't tardy or revealing.
Such a sexy word.
Right? King came up to me and groped my bottom, and I told him to stop. I'm not a bimbo or a wannabe bag. I was just out minding my own business with friends. So, I mean, she's like...
In my head, I heard Adele tell me all that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm not a bimbo or a wannabe bag. Yeah, that's wonderful, right? So, yeah, she's doing all that. He is not taking that for an answer. No. He comes back 10 minutes later and starts touching her again.
He already made her feel disgusting.
Oh, now he's touching her more.
Yeah.
He's all over her, and she's going, get the fuck away from me. And apparently witnesses heard him say, don't you know who I am? I'm a millionaire.
Oh, boy.
Which, this is why I said, how is he not American?
Yeah.
This is something an American asshole would say.
A guy that makes 40 grand a year says shit like that.
Yeah, well, you don't know, start throwing money around. Yeah, no, this guy's, don't you know me, who I am? I'm a millionaire. She said, I don't care who you are, take your millionaire self away from our table. So she just wanted to be away from this guy. She told him again not to touch her. Again, he was touching her hair. And at this point, he begins saying, this is what he's heard saying. This is the quote he says to her. I'm a multi-millionaire, love. You're not even in my league.
Wow.
First of all, he was just hitting on her. Second of grabbing her ass, he was in his league then.
She's totally in your league when you got a handful of her ass, bro.
Second of all, I love that in the UK, they're so fucking polite that even in his mind, he's talking to a worthless bar skank,
right,
and telling her what a piece of shit she is, and he still manages to call her love. That's amazing to me. That's a polite society.
I dig it.
Even if it's bullshit, it's still polite, and I like
He'll
it. He'll
spit in her face and call her love.
How's that, love? You need a towel? That's amazing. So then he poked her.
Yeah.
He pulled her hair.
Oh my God.
Like downward, pulled her down, and then punched her in the face.
Wow.
This is a 5-foot-tall law student.
And he's going to drill her in the face.
He hauled off and jacked her, too. Apparently, blood's pouring out of her lip and her nose.
Wow.
Her nose is broken.
It's a legit assault.
As he was doing this, two other women jumped on his arms to try to get him to stop. And when he punched her so hard he knocked the other two women down on him.
It's like a cartoon.
All three of them went down like the Three Stooges, and he's standing up there. One of them's bleeding all over the place. This is a horrible scene. She said of it, Carr said of the incident, it was like being hit with a brick in the face. My friend who saw it said King took a step back and delivered the punch like a boxer in the ring with full force.
Wowza.
So, he just said, I'm going to knock you. Yeah. This is what I mean. She rejected him. He was like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I'm a millionaire. You don't know who I am. Walks away for 10 minutes, lets it brew.
Yeah, lets it
and
stew.
rather than it settling like most people, they have cooling off periods. Right. You go cool off, then you go, I don't know.
You sit with your buddies, make fun of her by yourself.
Blah, blah, blah. She's a skank, whatever. She's a skank.
You believe that bitch told me no?
So, you do that. This guy goes over there. This is what a psychopath he is. He goes over and jacks himself up.
Yeah.
She talk to me like that? People probably saw that shit. She has no fucking... I'm
Marlon King.
I'm going to tell her something. And he's going over there with violence in his heart. Like, that's insane. That's a truly sick person.
Yeah.
Like, that's a truly crazy person at this point. Very scary. So she calls the police. She's got a broken nose, by the way.
Yeah.
It's busted. It's pouring blood all over the place. She's waiting for police. While she's waiting for the police, King sends one of his friends over to apologize to her, but also tell her that she provoked it.
Wow.
So he's going over, look, he's sorry, it's cool, don't relax. You were asking for it. You shouldn't have fucking said that. What do you expect? Literally, that's what they were doing. Like going over, like...
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, trying to get her to, like, say,
that's some really shitty behavior.
I guess I shouldn't press charges. Meanwhile, her nose is on her cheekbone.
He slid her face to the side.
He slid her... It's insane, this fucking people. And security officers at this point... Security officers come over and they are asking him to leave, and he said, why? I've done nothing wrong.
Oh my God.
You just punched a tiny woman in the face. You can't do that in a nightclub.
Punched a girl the size of a 17-year-old. She's 20. She's basically a 7. She's a child.
Not to mention, when he did it, 3 women went flying.
Right.
That causes a scene. I think at the club at that point, they were like, whoa, this is going to get ugly. Let's calm this down.
The energy dropped women that were on your back.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
Your inertia. Yeah. Like, this is insane.
It's like an explosion in a cartoon. That's crazy.
And here's a witness who had nothing to do with either one of them.
Right.
This is a witness statement from this. This is great here. The witness said of this, quote, he was repeatedly pestering her and grabbing her bottom. She kept asking him to leave her alone, and at one point he just turned and punched her. It was not a slap, and it looked like she had a broken nose. There was blood dripping on her face and her clothes and her handbag. Some of her friends were trying to make out that it was some of his friends were trying to make it out that it was all perfectly justified because she was pestering him, but it seemed very much like it was the other way around.
Yeah,
he tried to say like, this girl's, I'm famous and she's bugging me and pestering me. So you punch a 5-foot-tall girl in the face? Get away from me. What was she doing? Was she spitting at you, chasing you with a belt? Like, what could she have been doing that you were threatened of?
Anything short of a legit weapon like a gun or a knife. You can't punch a chick like that.
And that tiny, even if unless she actively stabbed him, then I'll say, okay.
Have you ever seen a girl bleed? It is the saddest fucking thing in the world.
This poor girl. Imagine, too, they were out at a fancy club. She had nice clothes on. She had her nice handbags and dripping off. Imagine, she had, like, shoes that she bought especially for that day, and a dress that was, like, she thought she was looking cute because she said she had a gray dress.
Right.
Going out with
demure,
her friends. It was
nothing
demure,
tart.
Nothing tart. She's not tardy. She's not a bimbo or a wannabe bag. Don't you fucking people judge her any other way than that. Let me tell you something. She's not a wannabe bag.
I've seen chicks dressed up in Scottsdale, like in the nice, in the like clubby areas of towns, and I've seen them fight, and I've seen them bleed, and it is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Sad.
It's just so it's terrible.
Have you seen them be punched by a giant man?
I've seen it in San Diego in the Gaslamp district. I saw a man hit a girl, and her face just opened just opened up like a water faucet.
Jesus!
And you want to just cry for her.
What did he play? I assume he's an athlete at this point.
Probably defensive end or something.
This is how sad I am now, by the way. If I see a story in the news about some horrific crime, I'm like, please tell me he played college. I'll take freshman college basketball with this guy.
Something professional at some sport.
It doesn't even have to be professional. Right. I don't care if he was
he's on his way.
a Division III bench warmer, and I will do if it's like literally, I'm like, please God, let him play something.
If you're gonna fucking break the law, at least have played sports so we can talk about it.
So we can have a good episode about you. So December 10th, this is 3 days later, he's called to the police station for questioning on this December 7th incident, obviously. He's arrested in the investigation of the assault, obviously. Released on bail, obviously, again, to return to February for court. King, you know what his excuse is?
I didn't do it.
Mistaken identity. Yeah. It wasn't me. He literally is saying,
somebody else
I don't know
punched
her?
I
wasn't, it's mistake. It wasn't me.
Unbelievable.
He's going totally mistaken identity. He's the most famous guy in the club.
Unbelievable.
Everyone knows who he is. He's literally saying, don't you know who I am?
Right.
Yes, they
I'm
do.
I'm a multi-millionaire.
They know who you are. That's why they can identify you when you assault people, and you can't say it wasn't me.
You can't say it wasn't me when two women explode off of your back after you punch a girl.
After exclaiming who you were.
Right. Everybody knows what's going on at this point.
And your income, for that matter.
Yeah, you spit out your tax information, you fuck.
This fucking idiot. I hope he wasn't using tax discs inappropriately. Fraudulently. So at this point, December 12th, 2008, this is like 2 days after the arrest.
Right.
There's an article on how Hull's manager, Phil Brown, is happy to stand by King after this arrest.
Oh, God, our silver-haired middle-aged white man?
He has a lot. Yeah, this is a definite silver-haired middle-aged white man. All of his lawyers, he's got a lot of silver-haired middle-aged white men here. He says, quote, he has had a problem last weekend, which is under police inquiry, and it would be wrong of us to talk about it. Where Marlon is concerned, he has trained all week and has come in good spirits. As long as that continues, he will continue to play the football that he is playing.
In America,
how silver is that statement?
In America, that's summed up with no comment.
No comment. Phil Brown,
you guys
silver-haired, middle-aged white man, Phil Brown. Over in England, I don't know if Phil Brown's still around, but start chanting silver-haired, middle-aged white man at him if you ever go to any event that he's at. Please, because what a jackass. Then he also said, hopefully come the end of the season, we can secure him on a permanent move.
Jesus.
So the loan isn't enough. We need this guy who punches women in the face in public and headbutts his teammates.
Right.
I need to get him locked up.
We need it.
Yeah, he's a hot commodity, this guy.
We're going to franchise tag him.
Depending on the amount of goals and how well he has played for us. So, so he's
There's a stipulation.
Hey,
I'm not
at
least he qualifies that.
We're not crazy here.
At least he qualifies as lunacy.
So then a month later, January 22nd, 2009, King is terminated from Hull. They get rid of him due to a dispute with manager Phil Brown. So his silver-haired middle-aged white man turns against him here. Apparently, they have like an active roster. Like football, there's 53 guys, but they have like 65 on the team, and they have to, some guys are
practice squad and all that shit.
Third stringer's not active this week. You'll see him over there in his uniform, but he's not on the active roster. That sort of thing. Third string quarterback. Well, they leave him off the roster for a game against Arsenal, and King apparently made a big stink about it and got all pissed off. And
that's a premier team. Yeah, everybody watches.
I want to play in this game, and he got mad. And so Brown says about this: as far as I'm concerned, whenever I pick a team, it's for the right reasons. For one player to disagree with that in front of the rest of the players is not the way forward for my changing room. Hence, the reason we decided to part ways.
There's never been a coach in the history of America that uses the word hence.
I was going to say, imagine some fat NFL coach that played like offensive line for 12 years going, hence, I'm benching him.
Right.
Never.
Mike Holmgren on the sideline talking about, hence, He didn't practice this week, hence he's benched.
And my changing room.
Right.
The changing room sounds very quaint.
It's a fucking locker room, bro.
It sounds locker room sounds manly.
Yeah.
Changing, I'm sorry, British people.
Sounds like there's open balls in there.
It sounds like it's just ball slapping good times going on in the changing room. The changing room sounds like there's fresh cut flowers. Right. It's the changing room.
Smells like powder.
Nice. Yeah, I picture that like a wealthy man's club locker room more than like an actual locker room. So he scored 5 goals in 15 games. So
3.
that's not bad. This is about him being an asshole, and I think also about probably backlash for saying, no, we'll stand by. I'm sure we don't mind if he punches women in the face. No problem.
Don't challenge your coach, though.
Yeah, despite production, Brown said that he was not impressed with his overall contribution. This is a month after he was saying, we're going to lock him up permanent.
That's our boy.
So yeah, people shift their, according to the press and what's sweet at the moment, they shift their shit.
Some fucking spit was flying somewhere.
Absolutely. Brown was asked if he was disappointed with how it worked out, considering how well he played. He's saying, are you disappointed it worked out like this, how well Marlon played for you? And he goes, that's opinion, that he played well. This asshole wouldn't even admit that he played well. He's like, nah, it's opinion that he played well.
You can read those stats however you want.
Yeah, I'm not reading them that way. To me, nil. No interest in this asshole. So he is shit-canned here, and he ends up going to Middlesbrough on a loan, I guess back to there, on a loan here, on January 22nd. 2009, and the Middlesbrough are the Teesiders, which is a very English name.
Shit, yeah.
Not T like T-E-A, T-E-E, but still, it's got the word T in it. I don't give a shit. Their manager, Gareth Southgate, which is the most British name I've ever heard in my fucking life. Gareth. It sounds like
that T-H?
Yeah, Gareth Southgate. That sounds like a rich soap opera villain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, Gareth Southgate bought the orphanage and turned it into condos.
And all the kids have to work on the landscaping crew.
They built them. Right. They built the condos. These poor kids.
He's got a lot of plaid in his fucking closet. Red and green plaid.
So he's signed with Wigan, remember?
Right.
They're the ones who hold his overall deal. So this guy says, quote, we have an agreement with Wigan and the Lad King, which is the Lad King, that he should join us over the weekend on a 6-month loan deal until the end of the season.
It's all poetic.
It's amazing. Once you have multiple sexual assaults... You're not fucking Lad anymore. No. Sorry.
We've got this dick on our roster.
Doesn't work shit anymore. So unreal. At this point he's got 7-8 convictions already under his belt, like a lunatic. May 14th, 2009, he's trying to get his trial delayed for beating this poor woman up for old Emily Carr. He tries to get this trial set for May 2010. So he's trying to get delayed a year. He's saying that his wife's due, the original trial date's supposed to be in August. And he's like, well, my wife's due to give birth August 13th, so that's inconvenient. Also, his football commitment, he has that until May. So, it's just inconvenient
Christmas,
for me.
I got spring break, I got all this shit coming up.
We just reschedule for another time. So the judge said, quote, everybody has commitments, and set the trial date for October 26th.
Nice, I like it.
He said, the wife, that's a valid reason, the wife having the kid. 2 months later, go fuck yourself. So King remains out on unconditional bail at that point. So he ends up being convicted on this charge. I mean, there's a million witnesses, and all the witnesses were like, yeah, I don't know, he just jacked her right in the face.
Jesus.
He just hauled off, he punched her real hard right in the fucking face. And they were like, there's no mistaken identity. They're like, no, Marlon King. Yeah. No, he shouted, I'm Marlon King. I make this much money per year. My address is 421 West 37th Street,
He read down his W-2 for everybody in the club. And then drilled this little girl in the mouth.
And handed out copies of his driver's license. And, he probably doesn't have one, actually, because he's had problems.
It's banned.
So he's banned. Banned from the roadways. So he is convicted. He's convicted of causing actual bodily harm and sexual assault, because you can't go groping women.
You can't go fingering buttholes.
At that point. No, that doesn't work. This is on October 31st, so a Halloween time for him here. Judge Nicholas Lorraine Smith said of King here when sentencing, said, quote, you have not shown a hint of shame at your disgraceful, arrogant behavior. Furthermore, it is not your first criminal offense, nor your first for violence. I appreciate this will cost you an enormous amount of money, but it is difficult to be sympathetic when you were boasting about your earnings the way you did. You, sir, may fuck off. 18 months.
That's awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
He said, you're an asshole and a dick, and I don't even like you.
And you're arrogant.
You're an arrogant
And
twat.
how dare you tell everybody how much money you make when I make this much, and you're out there spouting it, and then punching chicks? Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. 18 months. That's going to lose you 1 million pounds, because that's about what he was losing that time. So that's a fuck off right there. And he, 18 months in jail. He also has to register as a sex offender for 7 years.
Wow.
This affects him hugely, because this affects what he can do professionally.
Yeah.
This affects, he can't go...
There's paperwork involved in you doing shit.
He can't go, like, as a promotional thing to go to, like, a kid's center. Or like he's not allowed around people.
You can't go read books to kids to try to clean up your image.
Shit.
You just tried to finger a 20-year-old's butthole in a club.
You're in deep shit here, so they don't want you around children at this point. So, he's done. He's also has to pay the victim... This is another thing. He has to pay court costs of £1,800, which is prosecution costs. He has to pay the victim £3,125. He broke her goddamn nose and split her lip open.
Seems like he got off easy on that.
Imagine what that would cost you in the States. If you're a professional athlete and you...
In 2008?
And 2009, 2008, you punch a woman in the face, actually break her fucking nose, split her nose
Sheets of blood.
Open, also blood all over her clothes, her purse, all that shit.
You got to buy all that shit again.
Think about what that would cost you now.
So much.
You would
and if you're a star?
That would be $1 million.
Easy.
Easy $1 million. It's insane. It's about public humiliation. Yeah. It would have gone on.
I was on TMZ for fuck's sake.
Oh, unbelievable. So she now on him. Finally, Marlon is a tight-lipped gentleman. He is very tight-lipped. Most of his shit is just I'm going to try to play hard for this team and do well, and that's all he says. So we have a quote here in their own words, finally in their own words, on women in general here after this whole thing. It's, quote, "I'm not trying to paint myself as an angel, but I'm no sex beast. I've got a daughter, wife, sisters. It's ludicrous to say I hate women. I just punch them in the face and spit on them and chase them up the street. Well, that's ludicrous.
And finger buttholes, and when they say no, I punch them.
Ludicrous.
Unbelievable.
So
I think you hate them, sir.
Oh, God. You hate them, and we hate you. Yeah. Marlon King, you're such an asshole.
He doesn't hate all women, just women that tell him no. Yeah. That's who he hates.
You know how we do some guys where we're like, this guy kind of would be fun to hang out with for a weekend. Yeah. Like, I kind of want to roll with Marvin Barnes for a weekend, like during the 70s when he was really crazy. Yeah. Lenny Dykstra in his heyday would have been fun for a weekend in Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? We see these guys. This guy is an asshole who I would never want to spend 5 seconds with. He's one of these arrogant, out of control, saying how much money. He's just a complete asshole jerk, and this is not the type of guy you'd want to sit and have a pint with.
It's like hanging out with 50 Cent in like '98 when he's like getting shot at all the time.
Before he had money,
right? Yeah, when he got shot 9 times in the face. I don't want to be around you.
So after this, he gets convicted. Wigan shit cans him at this point.
Wow.
They changed their tune about him real quick.
That's not like the fucking Brits.
No,
anybody that deals with soccer.
And their quote about it is strong too. Athletic chairman Dave Whelan said, quote, "He is absolutely sacked. We will not tolerate football players who get sent to jail for 18 months. As far as we are concerned, he is finished with football at Wigan Athletic. We have to follow the rules and regulations, which means we'll have to give him 40 days notice that his contract will be canceled. It will be very difficult for any club to stick their neck out and take Marlon on. I cannot really see him coming back as a professional."
It's about time.
This guy ripped him a new asshole.
Good.
He dyed his hair black.
He fingered his butthole
from fucking silver, and he got on his horse here. I think it's funny that he didn't say, "We will not tolerate football players who beat the shit out of women for no reason." He said, "We will not tolerate ones that are sent to jail for 18 months. God damn it, you're supposed to be on that field scoring goals. You want to punch women, you do that shit on your own time. You go to jail in the off season." Jackass, because I feel like that's the subtext there. Yeah. His agent, Marlon King's agent, Tony Finnegan, said that Whelan, this is great, said a quote of Whelan, quote, "He was playing the white knight, in my opinion, yesterday to say, we don't want that here. You can't just dismiss an employee and think you can just dismiss him publicly like that."
What? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
His shit was very public what he did, so I think it's all okay.
You can't punch chicks in the face publicly.
Not allowed to do that generally. Not allowed at all. So Tony Finnegan, his agent, insists that he will be back. He'll be ready to play after his 18-month sentence. He said, I don't want to name names, but there's lots of players in this country who have fallen short of the law.
Oh, God.
Done the crime, done the time, come out. I'm sure if you're sitting in a 6x6, you do have time to reflect the change you make as a person in your life.
Don't do that, though.
So he's saying he's good now.
Yeah.
He's in a cell.
That guy's an asshole. Don't go out there talking about
other players.
This guy did this guy did that. He can come back. He's not them.
No.
Those people didn't punch chicks in the face in a club.
Many times, too.
Right.
And teammates. To me, the teammate thing would have been red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Don't fight with your teammate in public.
It's your guy on your side.
In public.
Right.
Number 2, once you punch a woman, it's like, okay, there's no boundaries.
Right.
Not only will they fight, at least they're both men, and they're both, they're
and he's
both
married.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's the
making
other
a
thing.
public spectacle of how much of a nudnik you are.
That's so funny that we glossed right over the fact that he's married and celebrating his 3rd child. We just glossed over like, yeah, you want to do that, jerk off.
Right.
But what a fucking scumbag. That's the other thing. We just expect that at this point, doing this show. We just expect that. Like, obviously he was trying to fuck somebody else.
Right.
Clearly. His wife's pregnant. Why would he want that? He's an asshole.
She's fat at this point.
He's going to be like, ew, I don't want her. Yeah, I'm going to go bang some 20-year-old. He's a piece of shit. And we just expect that kind of shittiness. Philandering is not even a thought for us.
It's too bad.
It's fucking ridiculous. So at this point, King's wife, Julie here, former Miss Zambia, says, quote, I'm standing by him because I love him and I know he's innocent. 100 people saw him do this. He's not innocent.
She's dumb or just loves the payday.
Maybe.
Every week, 40 grand.
She's invested, too. This is her 3rd kid. She's like, if she knows if she gets his back, that makes him look better in the public and more likely to be signed by a team and got a paycheck coming in.
I don't know what the child support laws are like out there. I can't imagine they're as strict as they are here because dudes complain about it all the time.
Especially if she's from fucking Zambia.
Right.
She's not even
She's not expecting shit.
Yeah, I don't know what they are in Zambia.
But I'm hoping that in the UK they're pretty stiff when you've got millions of fucking pounds.
I hope so.
I hope you can chip off a pretty nice nest egg to her.
Doesn't matter because she's sticking around.
But she doesn't give a shit. She's sticking
around.
I'm assuming that it's nil. You get nil.
You get nil. So post-sentencing here, Emily Carr, like I said, she gives up her anonymity. She comes out in the paper to say that King shouldn't be allowed to play.
Yeah.
She says, quote, King's defense moaned that the sentence would lose him £1 million in earnings, but I've lost my face.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's not fit ever to play for any team again, ever. It's like £1 million. My face is fucking mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
They're
I
so
look
good
horrible.
with words over there.
They are.
I'm just blown away with how beautiful they speak. They
wonderful.
moaned. She said they moaned.
They moan. Yeah, they moan. Not over here. They'd be like, they were bitching and complaining. Yeah, you guys are over there going, no, it's shitty over here too. I know it's shitty over there too, but on the surface, you guys keep it sounding so nice.
Yeah, you
Whereas
hide
over
it all.
here, we're just so used to everybody just being nothing but Walmart trash.
You hide it all behind eloquence and manners.
It's beautiful.
Manners.
It makes you sound better. Mm-hmm. So now, July 2010, he is released from jail early in July. It's a little bit early. July 2010. He vows to, quote, fight tooth and nail to overturn his conviction.
I believe it.
Because he does not want to be on the sex offender registry. He even said, like, in the beginning when they were trying to fight the whole thing, he said, I don't give a shit about jail. I've been to jail. No big deal. I don't want to be on this fucking sex offender registry. Yeah. This is not good for me, basically. Bad. It makes me look bad, exactly. So it does make him look bad, honestly.
I'll fight tooth and nail. We believe you. I think you'll headbutt somebody to get off that sex offender registry.
Yeah, still complaining at this point. So
good grief.
I mean, so this poor woman has literally lost her face.
Yeah.
As she put it. She's lost her face. Wigan has lost their guy. He's got $1 million.
Yeah.
Miss fucking Zambia is trying to get her husband out of jail. She's pregnant with a kid on the way. She had an infant as they sentenced him to 18 months in prison.
And two other kids.
Two other kids. Countless other people he's probably assaulted. Poor woman in the streets been spit on. This one's been punched in the face, hit with a belt. This guy's been choked. I feel bad for all of these people, Jimmy. I really do. I feel super bad for them, but not nearly as bad as I feel for these other poor Marlon Kings.
Oh my God, that's so thick.
Like Marlon King, Emergency Services Coordinator for Eastlake High School in Chula Vista, California. He looks just like Gary Sheffield
really?
on his LinkedIn profile. Exactly like him.
Or a woman puncher.
Or a woman puncher. Marlon King, Principal Learning Consultant at Some Made Trickle Learning Company. That's in the UK. So this guy's even British. Where he's like, no. Every time it's on the news, Marlon King, senior commercial relationship manager at Intrust Bank in Wichita, Kansas.
Or child molester, or sex offender.
Sex offender.
Jesus.
Marlon King, mentor, facilitator, vision pastor at the Church of the Nazarene of Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Watch out for him. He'll spit on you in his sermon.
Oh, it's coming, man. That belt comes off fast. You have no idea. Marlon King, new business sales manager at GB Group, a computer software company in the UK.
God, that name's so common.
Marlon King, recording engineer and web designer at Insomniac Studios in Chicago, Illinois. Finally, poor Marlon King, who's a power forward slash small forward on his junior basketball team at Woodbridge High School in Peninsula, Ohio. He's
Poor kid.
6'2", 198. He averages 12 points and 10 rebounds a game.
Very athletic.
And and he is too. I was watching some of his highlights. He's an athletic kid. He likes to go to the side a lot and he'll post up a little jumper. He's good at it though. He's got a good
or
little
he'll
shot.
headbutt the shit out of you.
He's got good skills too. He's got good ball skills. Yeah, he headbutts you, then he dunks on you, takes you right to the rack. But this poor bastard, if you search athlete Marlon King, you're going to get this kid.
A lot of that
this
kid.
This poor son of a bitch
bastard.
is coming up. So now before he's released in July 2010, but before he's released, April 12th, he converts to Islam in jail.
Oh, God, he found religion.
He found religion. He's rule number 3 he's breaking of the crime and sports lexicon here. Don't find religion. He finds religion in jail.
Right away.
Think it's going to help him, Jimmy?
God,
Think
no.
it's going to turn it
Shit,
around
no.
now? Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
He's going the opposite direction with that Islam.
He will only talk to Muslim inmates now and insists on all inmates and staff calling him Abu Hamza Tariq. Hamza Tariq, because he would insist on being called. Prays 5 times a day and demands halal meat. That's why he did it, was for the better food.
Yeah.
Because that's actually a thing that I've heard. That new HBO show, The Night Of, which is fantastic. You guys should check it out. They're asking prisoners as they come in for religion, and some of them are trying to fake Muslims so they can get good meat.
Just to get the meat.
Just to get the meat. So that might be what he's doing also.
Gotcha.
But he's going all out though.
Yeah.
He's
praying.
He's
praying for the
praying.
food. He's going to get that little prayer bump on his forehead.
A week before he converted, he got into a fight in dinner in prison and ended up coming away with a black eye out of that one.
Nice.
So I wonder if he decided, I better get with a group here. I got to be part of the Muslims so I don't get roughed up in the mess hall
and
or
I get
whatever.
good food.
So maybe better food and not getting punched in the eye while you eat it. That sounds terrific. I hope somebody spit on him in the process. I really do. So he's released from jail in July 2010. So you didn't think anybody would want him now.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, what a fucking mess. Nope, he's signed.
Jesus.
September. Takes 2
Right
months.
away.
Takes less than 2 months for them to sign him. He's signed by Coventry, and he is reunited. This is because at Watford, he had a coach named Adi Boothroyd. Okay. He had Adi Boothroyd at Watford, and this was also the coach at Coventry now. Mm-hmm. So he said, this guy was great for me. He remembers him being so good.
Right.
And Boothroyd said, quote, when I managed Marlon at Watford, he was a first-class professional, and I expect that to be the case at Coventry. Well, you should have fucking thought again.
Shit has happened between then and now, sir.
In their own words on signing with Coventry here, Marlon King, in their own words, quote, I am very grateful for the chance Coventry City has given me, and I look forward to working with Adi again. I will be working hard to repeat the success we had when we last worked together.
Jesus.
So he's just...
I'm working hard.
He's
I'm
working
training.
hard.
I'm going to punch some bitches.
Not a word about being Muslim anymore.
Nothing.
Not a word about his name being fucking Abu Hamid Tariq.
Right.
None of that shit's going on. He's not praying anymore 5 times a day. He's going back to the nightclub. At this point, there is an Urban Dictionary entry for Marlon King. Marlon King is, quote, a famous footballer who lays people out. As in, quote, oh my God, dude, he just got Marlon King. That is his own Urban Dictionary. This is our first.
That's awesome.
Our first athlete who has his own Urban Dictionary.
He's a verb. He's the football Draymond Green.
Yeah, he's a verb for assault. That's what he is, man. They made him a verb for assault. I love that. And they think that, well, as Coach 80 over here says, quote, I think we're getting a 5 million pound player for nothing. Thinks everything's going to go great, right? So he ends up scoring 13 goals in 28 games for Coventry, which isn't bad for a guy who's been in prison for a long time. That's not too shabby.
Past 2 years.
His contract is set to expire, so King moved to Birmingham City, which is a rival. It's under the Bosman ruling, which I couldn't get a lot on this. It seems like if you're in the last year of your deal, you can get the hell out of there and sign with somebody else.
That's nice.
Before the other team has dibs on you, seems like what that rule is.
That's kind of nice.
Just from what I inferred from the context of it. So he ends up going to Birmingham City, which is a big rival of theirs. So they're all like, hey, Dick, we gave you a chance. We signed you out of prison.
Right.
And you fucking go.
We took a chance on you, and you're going to run to the rival.
And he also had a verbal contract with them, too, that he was going to re-sign, and he reneged on that and signed a 3-year deal.
What a dick.
Team is super pissed. Coventry's vice president, John Clark, said, quote, "It's unforgivable, but we move on. Marlon was taken on when other clubs, for whatever reason, didn't take him on. We gave him a good chance, and he delivered the goods in terms of goals on the pitch and some exciting performances." I love that. For whatever reason, in other words, because he's a jerk-off. We're the only ones who
for no reason whatsoever.
For whatever reason. So he goes on to score. He ends up playing for St. Andrews, which I guess he ends up playing. He gets 29 goals in 67 games, which is great.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all, right? It's looking good to me. That sounds good. November 5th, 2012, he retires from the Jamaican Reggae Boys team because he had rejoined them after being banned. Remember when the new coach came on? Retires from that because he got suspended 2 games a week before for missing team curfew. They suspend him 2 games. He's like, you know what, fuck
staying
this.
Out. What the fuck?
And in his own words about this, he says, this is so funny. He says, quote, he tries to sound so sincere here. It's just pathetic. Quote, "It is with the deepest regret that I, Marlon King, have today decided to retire myself from international football. I have always given my all to the Jamaican football team and have some very fond memories of my achievements with the squad." Fuck off.
I, Marlon King. Jesus.
Marlon King.
Good
like
grief.
That's fucking Abraham Lincoln.
That's how he leads up to fingering a chick in a club, too.
Yeah, so he's teams in financial difficulty, the St. Andrews team. They end up releasing King to lower their salaries. So now he's out of work at this point. Comes out of international soccer retirement, agrees to play for the Reggae Boys again
Jesus.
on April 9th, 2013.
Good grief, he's played for so many teams.
Yeah, well, he was always playing for the Jamaican national team as he went. So April 9th, 2013, that's when he comes out of there. So he's going to try to, he's trying to make it, let's get it all back together.
Yeah.
Let's get it back on track. He says about the Jamaican soccer, about returning to it, he says, in their own words, quote, "What has gone is in the past. There's no point in discussing what is in the past. It's time to move forward now, and it's an honor to play for my country. If I'm selected, then I'm going to just play my part."
All right.
So he's trying to be Mr. Humble.
All right.
Right?
I'm in.
So it's his 33rd birthday
Yeah.
on April 26, 2013.
He's been through so much shit, and he's so young.
He's so young. 33rd birthday, April 26, 2013. Marlon's driving. He's got a white Porsche Panamera.
He's doing it.
He's doing it. It's a white car. He's chilling. He's got this Porsche. It's his birthday. He's feeling good. Stops off for ice cream.
Oh,
so he's
what a lovely day.
He's eating an ice cream cone, driving the Porsche on his birthday. That sounds like a great day, right? He's on the A46 in Nottinghamshire, and he proceeds to cause a 3-car pileup that severely injures a few people. He apparently, an off-duty policeman watched this happen.
Really?
An off-duty policeman. Oh, my goodness. He watches him. This is the whole time you have to remember he's got an ice cream cone in his hand, which makes it even better.
So beautiful.
He crossed...
I'm picturing strawberry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something pink.
He crossed a 30-mile-an-hour roundabout at 60.
Holy shit.
So he just took that shit. He weaved in and out of traffic then after that before stopping in front of a car for some reason, and the guy had to slam on his brakes, sending another car into the guy who had to stop, and this Volkswagen Polo, a Mr. Beck in this Volkswagen Polo, got plowed into Marlon King.
Wow.
And then Marlon King tried to blame him. So let's
He's Asian. This is great.
Let's just say here now.
Just a dumbass.
He's sitting in a pileup. There's ice cream all over his face.
Yeah.
It's his birthday.
He's got strawberry cheesecake stuck in his eyebrows.
He is not signed to a contract right now. He's a good player that no one wants because he's such a jerk off. He's got ice cream all over him. He's injured 2 people. Shit's going on. The only thing that could happen now is if a Mexican pimp came up to you and the music played. And he said, "How is it you have arrived to be here? How is it you have arrived to be here?" That's the moment right now.
He picks the chunks of strawberry cheesecake
as he's taking it off, going, how is it I have arrived to be here? How did this happen to me?
Unbelievable.
Holy shit. So he sees this whole thing. What does King do? Does he stay there? He fucking takes off.
Ran?
He takes off. He initially runs, turns around and comes back.
Blames the guy in the polo.
Which is amazing. He initially runs, then he comes back to act like he's helping the injured driver, but telling everyone around the accident that it was his fault. Like, yeah, this guy just did that. I don't know what he's thinking.
Are you okay? Can you believe this fucking guy?
Yeah, this guy has a broken arm really severely, has to be cut out of the car and airlifted to the hospital. And King's going, this guy, he's an idiot. This poor guy. Says, didn't realize that an off-duty police officer watched this whole thing like it was on television.
So like he took off to come back and be like, I just saw this. Can you believe that?
I think he took off and then went, oh shit, there's cameras on these roads. Right. There's a lot of witnesses. Someone had to have gotten my plate. I got to go back and act.
I always do shit in public. Yeah. There's always witnesses.
Always witnesses. Always witnesses. I better spit on somebody. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm used to doing. No, but I figure he said, I got to go back. I'll pretend like I'm helping the guy. Right. Maybe I can talk everyone into it being him. He's a fucking sociopath. Yeah. He thinks he can talk anybody into anything. That's how much of a sociopath he is. Plus, he probably wanted to come back and punch him and headbutt him because he went away for a minute and got himself in a tizzy.
Just jacked himself up.
Yes, I mean, this poor guy, like I said, broken arm. There's some 35-year-old man with a broken arm. I'm disgusted with this guy. The road was closed. Such a bad accident. The road was closed for 2.5 hours following the crash. That's a terrible accident. Yeah. That's like huge.
They got to clean up.
Yeah, it's some van. The van plowed into the Volkswagen Polo, and several people suffered whiplash that were in the other cars because they're slamming into each other.
The Volkswagen's tiny.
It's tiny.
It's tiny in the first place, and now it's smaller, and the guy's got a broken arm.
Yeah, and so he's still under contract technically to Birmingham City at this point. So they have released a statement, quote, "We are aware of a road traffic incident involving our player, and the matter is now being investigated by the police." So he's like, we don't want any fucking part of it. Yeah. We're not going to come out and say, we're behind Marlon King 100%, because they've seen that and they know better.
We deal with soccer, we don't deal with roads.
Not well.
No.
So at this point, in late 2013, this is after everything. He spends 8 games with Sheffield United.
What?
Yeah. So, then their manager, Niles Clough, which is the most British name, surpassing Gareth Southgate, I think, even. They released him in December 2013.
Everything gets more and more British.
Yeah, so now he's totally released from everything.
He's got no contract. He doesn't play sports at this point.
He's got no sports. He's got shit. He's going to court. He's going to court for this, for dangerous driving, because he was driving like a lunatic and eating an ice cream cone like an asshole. So March 18th, 2014, he goes to court. He had pleaded not guilty initially to this.
To reckless driving?
It's dangerous driving over there. He changes his plea to guilty on March 18th, 2014. Right. So now he's guilty. So he's got to go for sentencing. So when he's being sentenced, the judge says to him, oh man, this is short and sweet and beautiful and just... Someone should always be saying this sort of thing to him whenever he does anything. Says, quote, "I do not regard your case as merely impulsive or silly behavior. It was aggressive. It was arrogant. You, sir, may fuck off. 18 months in prison again."
More, 18 again.
18 more.
Wow.
18 months in prison for dangerous driving. Also banned from driving for 3 years.
Nice.
3 years. They should just revoke this guy's license.
He's either so funny.
Driving like a lunatic or not driving his own car. So let's just wipe him off the road, shall we? So September 9th, 2014, he appeals for a shorter sentence at this point. Mm-hmm. He is claiming family distress. The family is planning to move to Zambia because I guess there's some jackass with a soccer team willing to shell out money for a felon over there, probably, and his wife is probably...
That's where she's from.
She's the queen of Zamunda. Yeah. And coming to America terms. So, she's going back to live with James Earl Jones in the castle. So the judge called his driving in this appeal, quote, "little short of madness."
Nice.
And said this is the ruling on the appeal. Quote, "We cannot regard a sentence of 18 months imprisonment as arguably too long. It was and remains a just sentence which fully reflected the culpability and the effect it has had on those who were the victims of it. This was, in truth, deliberate, dangerous driving. It could have easily resulted in far more serious injuries. You, sir, may still fuck off. You may continue to fuck off." Keep on fucking on, mister.
Keep on keeping on fucking off.
So, I mean, that is it for Marlon King's soccer career.
Yeah,
He's done
deal.
unless somebody wants to sign him now when he's 36. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's over.
Done. He finishes in they called it senior level club games. He had 154 goals and 447 appearances, which seems pretty good. 12 goals and 21 appearances for Jamaica. How the fuck did I remember that?
Yeah.
From taking that note in an hour ago.
Good work.
Wow, that was amazing. Okay, good. I'm proud of myself on that one. That's pretty damn good. Now, at this point, I found a hilarious... I don't know if it's hilarious, but it's just funny because I want to see people talk shit about this idiot and make fun of him. So this is a poem from a fan about Marlon King.
Somebody wrote a poem about
This is amazing, man. This is so cool. This is a poem from a fan.
I love how British this podcast is today.
And you're gonna the word. I'll even do the flat A because I won't say it like I'll say it like they do in England. Who's that twat from Jamaica? Who's that money grabbing whore? Marlon King is his name, and he hasn't got a brain, and he won't be winning matches anymore.
It's like a chorus to a great song.
It's fucking great.
So good.
It's so funny.
Who's that twat?
It's such a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's so
like,
cheery.
Yeah, now go to sleep,
yeah.
kid. That's the new British nursery
British
rhyme.
Twinkle Twinkle.
That's the
so
British
good.
Twinkle Twinkle. I love it, man. So, yeah, he's the 2014. He was not being signed anyway. He was before that. He was unsigned for 6 months.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted him. He's basically at this point completely fucked.
Yeah.
He is in prison. I believe he's out now. He's out now. But I mean,
still on the sex offender registry.
He's still on the sex offender 2009, just barely. He's about to get off it.
Yeah.
It's party time when he gets off that. So he's going to be spitting on women.
Buttholes are getting fingered.
I pray for the poor women of Zambia at this point. I don't know what kind of laws they have over there.
England, all the buttholes. I pray for them all.
I wonder if they're moving to Zambia because of his wife's being from there,
right.
or just because he looked over international laws and saw that in Zambia it's perfectly legal to punch a woman in the face as many times as you damn well please.
Whether she likes the butthole fingering or not.
No problem. You're totally allowed to do it. And that is him. He is living in shitty infamy over there. I mean, if you run into him, tell him, well, probably, you know what, don't. I was going to say,
don't get near that fucking guy.
Run into him, call him a cunt.
Yeah.
Don't call him a cunt, because he will spit on you, headbutt you, and chase you up the street with a belt, probably.
And it sounds like that headbutting is pretty gnarly and he's got going on.
He's goddamn aggressive, this guy. So
especially if you're a girl.
Yeah, and also, this is the result of the girl. Here's a quote. I'm going to end this guy's story on a quote from Emily Carr here, who says, quote, "Each time I look in the mirror, I can see the scar he has left me with. It has shattered my confidence, and I feel nervous and worried each time I go out. The whole thing has been a terrible ordeal."
Yes.
That's what this fuckhead caused. That's the girl in the bar that he punched.
His whole life has been a terrible ordeal.
Terrible ordeal. He's a complete asshole. He pretty much, I can't imagine how poorly he treats his wife. He's got to treat his wife
father to 3 kids.
Although maybe he's one of those schizophrenic weirdos that's like in the house, he acts all perfect, and he leaves the house and he's trying to pick women up and spitting on them and punching people.
Kuklinski.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he like a Kuklinski? Is he that much of a I don't even know. I think I've never, in all of our time, Jimmy, I've never seen a temper like this in our stories where a guy cools off and then goes back for more. I've never seen that. That's
so much rage lying beneath.
Dude,
I feel like we're going to have a great update on him someday.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not done.
No. This ain't the end.
He's been in, he's going to be back in the news.
A guy like that doesn't
soon.
just stop.
No.
It's going to keep going.
He's going to be out. Someone's going to call him a washed up fuck or something like that, and he's going to attack them with a fucking sprinkler key.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on, man. I'm telling you.
I can't wait for it.
It's going to be bad. So that's Marlon King, guys. I hope you enjoyed that disaster of a goddamn human being. That was for you, UK. Hope you enjoyed one of your own. Good Lord. Also, too, I want to tell our Detroit, what was it, Detroit Motor City?
Yeah, Detroit Motor City, Sports Talk.
The Sports Talk.
Yeah.
They brought up Denny McClain. Denny McClain is our next baseball player on the tee. So our last one, we did Willie Mays Aikens. He was the toss-up. It was
fantastic.
Either Willie Mays Aikens or Denny McClain, and I let my 14-year-old daughter pick, and she picked Willie Mays Aikens because she liked his name. So that's what we went with. But
I want to say real quickly, Mark Busby just inboxed me. He just sent me a quick message. Thursday, September 15th, there is a crime and sports party. It is He's calling it the Crime and Sports Australian Chapters
Holy
Athletic
shit.
Forum at PJ O'Brien's.
That's
Locked
beautiful.
and Loaded.
That is beautiful,
And he is
Mark
there
Busby.
at this second drinking a pint. So
that's tremendous.
Go there
Mark
and
Busby, we
have
love
a
you, buddy.
pint with that fucking guy September 15th.
That's our ambassador, Mark Busby, out there in Australia.
I'm going to assume 7 or 8 p.m. That's when fucking...
I don't know when they do shit in Australia.
He didn't say what time. So.
I assume if you're over there, Busby will tell you.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be written on his dick while he knocks on your door. Hey, buddy, swinging it around.
He'll be sitting there at the pint with a wallaby and a fucking...
I love it.
And a pint.
Frankie
That's awesome.
Tore up some Chad Curtis that you sent over. We really appreciate that.
So awesome.
Thank you, guys.
He's putting together a party for our listeners. So if you're in Australia listening, go drink with Busby. The guy's fucking awesome.
He's got to be hilarious.
I love it. Oh my God,
I like messaging with him. He's very funny.
So hysterical.
So that's the show, guys. Thank you so much. Please, guys, like we said, let's fight for that top 150.
Yes.
Guys, please fight with us. Crime and Sports Movement. Let's do this. Yeah. Please, iTunes reviews. We beg of you. I know it takes 30 seconds. Just buckle down and do it. Bear down and say, I'm going to give these cocksuckers 5 stars, following instructions.
Bite on a screwdriver and type it up.
Say nice things about us through your clenched teeth. We don't care. Just please, guys, really, let's do this. Let's make this a thing. We feel like you guys, it's a team. Us, it's not just us. We really feel like it's this whole thing.
Scumbag squad.
The scumbag squad. So please, help us out there, guys. We will love you forever. Also, Patreon page, if you want to throw us a few bucks, a lot of great rewards on there. It's a lot of fun. That 10-minute podcast where we will make fun of anybody you like for 10 minutes, like a friend of yours, but that's tremendous. So really, that's on there. Lots of cool stuff. Also follow us on social media, like we said, at Crime and Sports on Twitter, Facebook.com/Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com.
Right.
Jimmie, you want to hit him with yours?
I am Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks, at Whisman Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and that bullshit Snapchat. And you can see me live at Stand Up Live in downtown Phoenix doing dick jokes and comedy, opening for Bert Kreischer with my very funny friend Jill Kimmel. So come out and hang out.
Do that. Go see Jimmie. Also, I'm at Jimmie P is funny. You can find me on there. And like we said, thank you guys so much for listening. We are having a blast live from the